we believe that the old unicorn playbook is dead. It's over. It's not my first rodeo. I've actually built, scaled, and sold two B2B startups before. Um, Raised funds, built the initial team. Scaled the sales team to 6 to 7 figure enterprise sales, then to acquisition, and what worked 10 years ago, it's not working today, right? And I think there are like two main tailwinds that are happening like in the background. They're really kind of like pushing away that the unicorn playbook. First of all, is that the growth at all costs model it's over, right? It's over. And raise big before you have product market fit. Scale to 50 employees before you get to your first $1 million ARR, then try to brute force your way into $10 million ARR. And even if you got there, your entire company is operating on a kind of really sick foundation that is focused on valuation inflation rather than kind of like value creation. Then if you combine it with the another tail, which is like AI broke the equation of scale means growing headcount, right? It's broken, and so you see companies like Lovable or Cursor or Ball who are getting to 1 million, $1.5 million ARR per employee. They're scaling to $20 million ARR with just a 20-person team. You see that these are like different types of companies. They're like operating on a different operating system, right? Like AI native at the core. And so at Swan, we believe that this is kind of like the beginning of a new trend in business, as you just said, Kelly. There's a different operating system on how to run and scale a business. We call it the autonomous business OS. And we're building Swan like that, and I'd love to share the behind the scenes and answer everything that the audience has to ask.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna just clarify a couple things really quick. What do you think drove? Because I agree with you, we certainly see it. But the growth at all cost mindset just being dead. I mean, obviously we had Silicon Valley Bank blow up a few years ago. All of a sudden you saw that those didn't make sense. So do you think the VCs are no longer pouring the money in, or is it that now they don't just care about top line, they also care about bottom line? So efficient growth is really the magic. Like, what is the background behind that?
Yeah, no, you actually mentioned two of the most prominent factors. So, well, one is if you look from the VC perspective, when money pours in, they only care about growth, right? When money is dry, they care about the bottom line, right? And want to see efficiency at the core of the business. And so it doesn't matter to just show growth if you don't have any, operational profit margins at work. It doesn't work anymore. And then from the other side, like from like a macroeconomic perspective, you know, are we getting into a recession? It doesn't really matter if we are or not. We're not getting into another bubble again. It's getting harder for businesses to get capital out there to actually, to get the same amount of output for the same amount of input. So VCs get that pressure from their LPs, from outside, and we see that a lot of trends that are happening in the startup world are driven by VCs that are impacted by macroeconomics. So you see that supply chain kind of like getting up all the way to the founders. And what I believe is that the autonomous business model is really about changing that equation. So it's not about the people who hold the capital anymore. It's about the people who could scale intelligence. And so it kind of shifts the equation and gives more powers to SMBs and to founders to actually operate, less capital heavy businesses and scale further with, a leaner team.